Hello, everybody. Today is Thursday, April the 23rd, and this is our video lesson for the day. All right, so we don't have a whole lot in our video lesson today because it's just a little bit of review of some things we've been doing all this week. So for reading today, remember we talked about how there are different details when it comes to characters in a book. So for our reading assignment today, you guys are going to read the book that's assigned, and it's either going to be on Dojo or you can access it on Canvas. You're going to read the book. You're going to write 2 sentences telling me 2 different details about the main character. So our book is Zotz Goes to School. You're going to tell me 2 details, 2 things about Zotz in the book. And that should be 2 sentences. All right, for phonics, you're not going to unscramble this time. You are going to fill in the AR words where the letters AR go. Remember those R controlled vowels? AR, make the R sound. You're going to fill in the words with AR where the AR goes. And if you would like, you can watch Miss Sun's phonics video. She made a phonics video for you guys about R-controlled vowels. So if you would like, you can watch Miss Sun's video, and I'll link that in with our assignments. So for math, we're doing something a little different. So we're still working on our groups of 10, but this time we're going to work on taking away groups of 10. So let's get into that. All right, so I have some towers of 10 right here, and it's a little hard to see our squares, but there are some towers of 10 right here. And let's see how many I have, and then I'm going to tell us how many we need to take away. So I have, let's see how many cubes first I'm going to take away. So 10, 20, 30, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I have 80 cubes. If I have 80 cubes, that means I have 8 towers of 10. Let's see. I should have 8 towers of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 towers of 10. So 8 groups of 10. And if I want to take away 3 groups of 10, let's see how many I have left. So let's take away 3 groups of 10. So here's 1, here is 2, and here's 3. I took away 3 groups of 10, or 30 cubes. So now let's see how many groups of 10 I have left. I started with 8. I took away 3. Let's see how many groups of 10 we're left with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of 10. Let's see how many cubes that is. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There are 50 cubes left. I started with 80. I took away 30. Now there are 50 cubes left. All right, so let's look at it on here. Let's see if we can do it on here. All right, so we're gonna pick 2 cards. So we picked 80. Let's see how many we're taking away from 80. We're taking 30 away from 80. So we're starting with 80 cubes. We're taking away 30. Remember, we want to look at that first number to tell us how many tens that is. So we should have 8 tens, or 8 towers of 10. That's going to be 80 cubes. So let's start with 8 towers of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 towers of 10. All right, so now we need to take away 30 cubes. Remember, we look at that first number. That first number tells us how many tens that is, or how many towers of 10. So that first number is 3. So that means I need to take away 3 towers of 10. So let's take away 1, 2, 3. I took away 3 towers of 10. That's 30 cubes. 10, 20, 30. How many am I left with? I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm left with 5 towers of 10, 5 towers of 10, that means I need to add a 0. Here's my 5 towers of 10. That means I had 50 cubes that I'm left with. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 groups of 10 or 50 cubes. All right, let's try another one. All right, let's try another one. Here's our first card, 70. Here's our next card, 90. All right, so we need to take away, we're taking away 70 from 90. All right, so we need to start with our bigger number, 90. Let's look at the first number. That's a 9. So that means we need 9 towers of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 towers of 10 or 90 cubes. All right, we need to take away 70 cubes or 7 towers of 10. So let's take away 7 towers of 10, which is 70 cubes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We took away 7 towers of 10 or 70 cubes. How many? Let's see how many cubes we're left with now. Remember, each one of these towers has 10 cubes. So 10, 20. So we're left with 20 cubes. And if I look at that first number in 20, that means I should have 2 towers of 10 left. And I have 1, 2 towers of 10 left. All right, good job. All right, so now we're gonna watch just a little video that tells us about taking away tens.
Subtracting a multiple of 10 from a multiple of 10. My friends and I are solving problems about how many fingers. There are 5 students. Each student has 10 fingers. So we can count their fingers by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 students have 50 fingers. What if one of the students takes away their 10 fingers? How many fingers will be left?
All right, so we started with 50. One student put their pair of hands down. How many fingers are left? Remember, this student, they put their hands down, so their fingers aren't up anymore. How many fingers are left? You figure it out. All right, let's keep going. You can pause if you need some more time to figure this out.
Libby thought if you take away one student, 4 students are left. So she counted 10, 20, 30, 40. Jacob thought if you cross out the last person and the numbers that go with him, then it's 40. Marta said if you take away 10 from 50, you get 40. 50 fingers take away 10 fingers leaves 40 fingers. 50 minus 10 equals 40. Now there are 40 fingers. What if 2 people leave? How many fingers would be left?
All right, so there are 10, 20, 30, 40 fingers. If these two put their hands down, how many fingers would be left? That means you'd only be counting these 2 people.
I know that 40 take away 10 is 30. Then take away another 10, and there are 20 fingers left. Toshi knew that 2 people is 20 fingers. 40 minus 20 is 20. 40 minus 10 equals 20. Next, my friends and I were solving problems about how many dots. There are 6 10 frames. Each 10 frame has 10 dots. So we can count the dots by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 6 10 frames have 60 dots. What if I take away 10 dots? How many dots will be left?
Okay, so 6 groups of 10. We took away 1 group of 10. How many dots or how many groups of 10 are left?
Tamika thought if you take away 1 10 frame, 5 10 frames are left. So she counted 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Isabel said if you take 10 away from 60, you get 50. 60 dots take away 10 dots leaves 50 dots. 60 minus 10 equals 50. Now there are 50 dots. What if I take away 3 more 10 frames? How many dots would be left?
All right, so we have 50 10 frames or 5 groups of 10. If we take away 3 of these 10 frames, how many would be left? How many dots would be left? And how many groups of 10 would be left?
I could take away 1 10 frame at a time. 50 take away 10 is 40. Then take away another 10 is 30. Then take away another 10 is 20. There are 20 dots left. Seth knew that 3 10 frames is 30 dots. 50 minus 30 is 20. There are different ways to think about subtracting tens. You can subtract 10 each time a 10 frame is removed, or you can subtract all of the dots at once. 50 minus 10 minus 10 minus 10 equals 20.
All right, so now let's look at some 10 frames. We're going to do the same thing we did with the cubes, but this time we're using 10 frames. So here's my first card, 70, and I'm taking away 10. We know that each of these 10 frames equals 10. So 10, and I should have 7 groups of 10. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 10. So now I need to take away 10 dots or 1 10 frame. So we know that each of these 10 frames has 10 dots. So taking away 10 dots or 1 10 frame, how many am I left with? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm left with 60 dots. So let's see. I started with 70 dots. I took away 10 dots. And I had 60 dots left over. All right, let's try one more. All right, this is our last one. have 20 and 50. So I'm going to take 20 away from 50. So I need to start with 50 dots or 5 10 frames. Here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Or 5 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 10, which equals 50 dots. Right now I need to take away 20 dots or 2 10 frames. So here's 10, 20. That's also 1, 2 groups of 10. Let's see how many dots I'm left with first. So 10, 20, 30 dots. Or I'm left with 1, 2, 3 10 frames, which is 3 groups of 10. So we started with 50 dots. We took away 20 dots, and we were left with 30 dots. We started with 5 10 frames. We took away 2 10 frames, and we were left with 3 10 frames. All right. So you guys are going to go and you're going to start on your assignments. So you're going to practice taking away groups of 10. You can draw 10 frames, you can draw cubes, towers of 10, or you can just write the numbers. You could draw some circles to help you. You're going to go and you're going to subtract groups of 10. You're going to write it down on a piece of paper and turn it into me, just like the rest of our assignments. Okay, well, I will see you guys next week. Remember, if you have any questions, have mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, brother, sister, whoever, have them message me and we can figure it out. All right, I will see you guys next week.